In 1922, one of humanity's greatest historical discoveries took place: the solid gold tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. But along with the glory of the discovery, an ancient curse was awakened, bringing with it mysterious deaths. Was there truly a supernatural force protecting the pharaoh's eternal sleep? Or behind those deaths lies a terrifying truth, more scientific than we imagine? Join us as we unravel the Pharaoh's curse and reveal the horrifying secret. Welcome to Hidden Past and our series 70,000 Years of Human Secrets. In this video, we will explore the topic Deciphering the Pharaoh's Curse, the truth behind the deaths of archaeologists. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss other videos exploring humanity's mysteries. If you find this video interesting and helpful, please like and share to support us. The Pharaoh's Curse is not just an ancient myth. It is a cultural phenomenon that has captivated the world for nearly a century. The story began dramatically in 1922 when British archaeologist Howard Carter and his benefactor Lord Carnarvon discovered the nearly intact tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings, Egypt. This was a groundbreaking find, promising to unlock untold secrets about a young king who ruled ancient Egypt. Joy quickly mingled with fear as rumors of an ancient curse began to spread throughout this harsh desert land. It was said that anyone who dared disturb the pharaoh's eternal slumber would face a terrible death and unforeseen calamities. Archaeologists and local workers had heard chilling tales from previous generations, but few expected them to become frightening realities. Even before the tomb was fully opened, there were signs believed to be ominous omens, sending shivers down many spines. A cobra, a sacred symbol of royal protection, was mysteriously found in Carter's tent, devouring his small canary. This event was considered a warning from the spiritual world, a clear signal that sacred boundaries had been unforgivably breached. Western newspapers, always eager for sensational stories to attract readers, quickly seized upon and exaggerated the idea of an ancient curse. This information was rapidly amplified, transforming a great historical excavation into a true horror story, spreading to every corner of the globe. The world was captivated, both fearful and endlessly curious about the supposed tragic fate of those who dared confront the supreme power of the pharaohs. The most significant turning point, transforming rumor into undeniable truth in the public eye, was the sudden death of Lord Carnarvon just months after the tomb was opened. He passed away on April 5, 1923, due to a severe blood infection after a mosquito bite and an infected razor cut. The death of a wealthy, powerful, and famous man sent shockwaves globally, serving as undeniable proof of the curse. At the moment he breathed his last, another strange event was woven into the narrative, adding to the mystique of the story. All electric lights in Cairo were said to have suddenly gone out for a few minutes, as if the universe itself was mourning or reacting in unison to this tragic event.
Simultaneously, Carnarvon's beloved dog in England reportedly let out a mournful howl and then also died, creating a chilling chain of coincidences.
These stories, though partly fabricated and exaggerated, quickly spread uncontrollably around the world. The press thoroughly exploited every aspect, tightly linking Carnarvon's death to the ancient Egyptian curse. This not only boosted newspaper sales to record levels, but also strongly reinforced public belief in a real curse, emanating from the depths of the 1,000-year-old resting place of the Egyptian king. Carnarvon's death quickly became the most eloquent and irrefutable proof of the curse's apparent existence. It was not just an isolated death, it was seen as the beginning of a series of supposedly related tragic events, painting a grim picture of the fate of those who dared disturb the pharaoh's eternal sleep. This event instilled deep fear in people's hearts. The list of subsequent victims of the curse did not stop with Lord Carnarvon, but continued to lengthen alarmingly. Many others directly involved in the tomb's discovery were also reported to have died under suspicious or sudden circumstances in the following years. This further enhanced the mystique and terror of the tale concerning the power of the ancient pharaoh.
George J. Gould, a wealthy American financier and close friend of Carnarvon, visited the tomb shortly after it was opened and died just months later from acute pneumonia. Archibald Douglas Reed, an X-ray specialist who took crucial photographs of Tutankhamun's mummy before it was opened, also passed away from a mysterious illness soon after completing his work. These consecutive deaths led to public suspicion. Aubin Botha, Carnarvon's half-brother, also died unexpectedly just months after visiting the sacred tomb. Richard Bethel, Howard Carter's devoted secretary, was found dead in his bedroom from an unknown cause, fueling many speculations. These successive deaths, though potentially coincidental, were attributed to the curse by the public and media with absolute conviction. Although many others participated in the excavation and lived long lives, these early and sudden deaths became the sole focus of the story. They were selectively highlighted to reinforce belief in the supernatural power of the curse, completely ignoring the dozens of others who remained unharmed. This information bias shaped public perception.
While the public was fascinated by the idea of a supernatural curse, scientists and researchers persistently sought more rational explanations based on evidence and experimentation. Ancient Egypt, with thousands of years of history and tombs sealed deep underground, harbored biological and chemical hazards that modern humans might not anticipate. This was an environment teeming with potential pathogens. One of the leading and most widely accepted theories is the presence of ancient molds and bacteria that had existed for millennia. Egyptian tombs had been sealed for thousands of years, creating an ideal environment for microorganisms to thrive undisturbed. When archaeologists entered, they might have inhaled mold spores or pathogenic bacteria that their bodies had never encountered, leading to unpredictable dangers. Specifically, Aspergillus niger and Aspergillus flavus molds are common strains often found in damp and secluded environments such as ancient Egyptian tombs. These fungi can produce mycotoxins, extremely potent toxic substances that can cause severe respiratory problems, acute allergies, or even dangerous lung infections in individuals with weakened immune systems. The risk from them is very high. In-depth studies have shown that many tombs contain highly pathogenic bacteria like Staphylococcus and Streptococcus, along with strongly allergenic molds. Sudden exposure to a large quantity of these spores in an enclosed, air-deficient space can lead to dangerous acute inflammatory reactions, especially in the elderly or those with pre-existing conditions. This explains many cases of death. Another equally important scientific factor is the accumulation of deadly toxic gases in the enclosed tomb space. Organic materials within the tomb, such as wood, linen, sacrificial food, and preserved mummies, can decompose in oxygen-deprived conditions, generating dangerous gases. CO2, ammonia, or even hydrogen sulfide can accumulate to levels that cause severe poisoning when inhaled at high concentrations. Tutankhamun's tomb, with its many tight and secluded seals, had retained these gases for millennia without them escaping. When opened, these gases could be released suddenly, causing discomfort, severe headaches, dizziness, or even unconsciousness for those nearby. This may have contributed to the illness symptoms and weakened health of some individuals involved in the excavation.
Some scientists have also considered the possibility of other toxic substances. For example, from chemicals used in the ancient Egyptian mummification process. Although these substances are generally not toxic at low concentrations or with fleeting exposure, prolonged or high-level exposure in an enclosed space could cause serious health problems. However, evidence for this theory is more limited. Nevertheless, the theory of molds and bacteria remains the most credible and scientifically sound explanation for cases of illness and premature death. The fact that archaeologists often worked in dusty, unsanitary, and infection-prone environments amplified this risk significantly. Biological hazards are an undeniable factor in ancient excavations. It cannot be denied that deep psychological factors and the pervasive power of media played an extremely crucial role in shaping and maintaining strong belief in the Pharaoh's curse. Humans have long tended to believe in the mysterious and supernatural, especially when confronted with events unexplainable by ordinary reason. Mystery always captivates the human mind.
From the dramatic early days of the excavation, the media fully exploited and exaggerated the story of an ancient curse. With sensational headlines, dramatic articles, and vivid illustrations, they transformed ordinary deaths or common illnesses into undeniable proof of the pharaoh's supernatural power. This was an extremely effective media strategy. The power outage in Cairo or the death of Carnarvon's dog are prime examples of how random coincidences were exaggerated into strange and terrifying omens. Once a story is widely accepted by the public and deeply ingrained in their minds, it is very difficult to reverse that perception. Even with clear and convincing scientific evidence, belief had taken root in their minds. The nocebo effect, a psychological phenomenon opposite to the placebo effect, may also have contributed to some cases of death or illness. If a person believes they have been cursed or will experience bad luck, extreme anxiety and stress can cause or worsen physical symptoms, making them feel ill or even severely impacting their immune system. Psychology can greatly affect health.
Furthermore, the work pressure and harsh living conditions in Egypt in the early 20th century were not insignificant, contributing to weakened health. Many archaeologists had to work under the scorching desert sun, in dusty and polluted environments, and were constantly exposed to local pathogens to which they had no immunity. Long expeditions, irregular diets, and lack of medical care also contributed to overall health deterioration. The selection of suitable deaths to include in the list of victims was also a crucial part of the media issue. Dozens of people participated in the excavation of Tutankhamun's tomb and lived long, healthy lives without experiencing any misfortunes. However, these cases were often entirely overlooked or ignored in the curse narrative, distorting public perception. Statistics show that among the 58 people present when Tutankhamun's tomb and sarcophagus were first opened, only 8 died within the following 10 years. The majority of the others lived significantly longer, and many even reached old age without encountering anything unusual. This is not an abnormally high mortality rate compared to the general population. It was simply random coincidence.
The clearest example is Howard Carter, who dedicated his life to excavating the tomb and was the first to enter, lived for another 16 years after this groundbreaking discovery, passing away at the age of 64. Evelyn Herbert, Carnarvon's daughter, was also present at the opening of the tomb and lived until 1980, reaching 79 years old, completely unharmed. These cases are often rarely mentioned or completely ignored by those who believe in the curse. Despite being clearly and convincingly deciphered by science, the Pharaoh's curse continues to be a significant and indispensable part of global popular culture. It has inspired countless blockbuster films, best-selling novels, captivating video games, and other works of art, from The Mummy to other mysterious adventure stories. Its influence is immense. The story of the curse has contributed to creating a fascinating, mysterious, and terrifying image of ancient Egypt in the minds of the public worldwide. It has increased deep reverence and endless curiosity for ancient civilizations, their great kings, and their colossal, timeless architectural achievements. Ancient Egypt remains a treasure trove of mysteries. The curse is also an eloquent testament to the incredible power of storytelling and mass media. A compelling story, whether based on fact or not, can shape the beliefs and perceptions of millions of people, becoming an inseparable part of cultural heritage. This is a phenomenon worthy of deeper study. Today, when we look back at the Pharaoh's curse, we see not only a story of death and mystery, but also a valuable lesson about the complex interplay between science, spiritual belief, and the immense influence of media. It reminds us of the necessity to analyze evidence objectively and soberly, even when confronting the strangest and most incredible phenomena. However, this does not mean we should completely disregard the actual risks when exploring ancient sites, especially sealed tombs that have been undisturbed for thousands of years. Modern archaeologists always implement strict precautionary measures to protect their health, including the use of masks, gloves, and other protective equipment to avoid contact with potential biological and chemical agents. Caution is mandatory.
In-depth studies of the microenvironments within tombs have helped us better understand how to preserve these relics safely and sustainably. This not only protects the health of researchers and workers, but also helps maintain the integrity of precious historical artifacts, preventing unnecessary damage caused by the environment. These are incredibly important lessons. It is precisely because of these profound and meaningful lessons that the story of the Pharaoh's curse, whether myth or truth, still holds a certain value and is worth exploring. It is an indispensable part of discovery history, a strong reminder of the complexity of the ancient world, and the necessity for caution and solid scientific knowledge when exploring its mysteries. The story lives on. From perplexing, mysterious deaths to clear scientific explanations, the journey to uncover the truth behind the Pharaoh's curse has helped us gain a deeper understanding of both history and science. It has continuously sparked curiosity, driven scientific research, and provided fresh insights into what happened thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt. A truly meaningful journey of discovery.
The endless allure of ancient stories remains powerful and holds a strange fascination for humanity. Ancient Egypt, with its mighty gods, mysterious kings, and colossal architectural achievements, is always fertile ground for the imagination. The Pharaoh's curse is just one of these, a story that has entered immortal legend. We hope that through this video you have gained a clearer and more comprehensive understanding of what truly lies behind the legendary Pharaoh's curse. A complex combination of biological, chemical, profound psychological factors, and media power created one of the world's most famous myths. The truth is always more complex than imagination.
Now that we have partially deciphered this mystery with science, we can view ancient stories with a fresh perspective, both appreciating their historical and cultural value and applying scientific thinking to seek the most logical and accurate answers. This is the right approach to understanding history.
Even though the Pharaoh's curse has been scientifically deciphered, the mysteries of ancient Egypt still remain, waiting for us to explore. From timeless architectural marvels to unimaginable building technologies. If you've been amazed by the stories of pharaohs and curses, then prepare yourselves for our next video. We will delve into the secret engineering of pyramid construction. What science is behind this 4,500-year-old grand structure? How were such colossal stones moved and perfectly placed without the aid of modern technology? Don't miss that video to discover the extraordinary engineering feats of the ancient Egyptians. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so you don't miss out on exciting journeys of discovery with us.